Blackstone Audio presents The Great Reminder, a Moroni Traveler novel by R. Irvine. This book is read by Jeffrey Kafer. 1. As usual, Brigham Young was creating a traffic jam at the head of Main Street. He'd been standing there in bronze since the horse and buggy era. Behind Moroni Traveler, someone honked repeatedly. "Gentile," Traveler muttered on Brigham's behalf. Double-lane traffic had come to a standstill at the point where South Temple shrank to a single buggy-sized lane. Through it all, Brigham stood his ground, looking majestic atop his granite pedestal. He'd been leaning on his cane there in the middle of Main and South Temple streets for nearly 100 years. At his feet, a bronze cast of characters. An Indian, a fur trader, and a pioneer family kept him company. Half a block beyond the Mormon leader, the afternoon sun was hiding behind the Chester building where Traveler had his office. He glanced at the dashboard clock. He was late. No doubt his prospective client was already into the yellow pages, seeking a replacement. Once through the intersection, Traveler parked illegally in front of the Chester building and climbed the 3 flights of stairs rather than wait for the elevator. Outside his office, a well-dressed elderly man stood hunched over an aluminum cane. When Traveler opened the door for him, the man gently tapped the rubber tip against the frosted glass panel and scowled. "It says Moroni Traveler and Son." "My father's out of town," Traveler said. "Then you're the one I spoke to on the phone." Traveler nodded at the chair on the client side of his desk. 4 feet away, his father's desk had its own client's chair. "As I informed you when I called, I'm Major Lewis Stiles, U.S. Army retired." Long retired, Traveler thought. The man, now holding himself rigidly erect like a soldier awaiting inspection, looked 80 at least. His dark gray suit hung on him loosely. The collar of his white shirt was a size too big, despite a tightly cinched regimental tie. Once seated, he balanced his metal cane squarely across his thighs before adding a time-worn 2-strap briefcase to his lap. "When you called," Traveler prompted, "you asked for an immediate appointment." Major Stiles's arthritic hand showed a maze of blue veins as he transferred his briefcase to the floor beside his chair. Free of it, he pointed a crooked finger at the open window behind Traveler. "I came here directly from the temple across the street." Traveler started to swing around to join in the view of Salt Lake City's Mormon landmark, then caught himself and kept his eyes on his prospective client. "May I ask you something personal, Mr. Traveler?" Traveler nodded. "Are you one of us? Are you LDS?" "The closest I come is people threatening to baptize me when I—"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?